Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the call. I'm so excited to share with you tonight. Wait just a couple seconds in case anyone is just popping on. I wanted to start exactly at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, just so everyone had the opportunity to listen in live. And I will hold this video up for 24 hours in case you end up not being able to stay the whole time. I'm only thinking it's going to be about 30 minutes. So I just really am excited to share this with you tonight. Our team has never really done this before, but I realized people have a lot of hesitations about a business like this, and I would too. Because of that, I decided to put together this webinar so that people can make an educated decision. I don't want anyone to go into a business they don't feel 100% confident in. And of course, you're going to be nervous because anything that's new is going to give you butterflies. But there's a difference between butterflies and knots. So I hope at the end of this, I am going to give you the tools to be able to decipher between the two. And if this is something that's right for you, and if it's just ends up not being something that's right for you, that is a-okay. Like, it's not for everyone. And I don't want to convince anyone. I'm not in the business to convince people. And that's also something I'll be talking about tonight, because as coaches, we're not in the business to push anything on anyone. We're there to provide the information and just show people what they can do with their lives. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. So the things that I'll be going over tonight is everything you'll see on this slide. What is a Beachbody coach? What's required to become one with signing up and everything? How do you get paid? How do you make an income? And how do you build your team? We're also going to go over, of course, is this a pyramid scheme? That gets me a little riled up. So I definitely am going to address that. And I have no hesitation with addressing that. We're going to go over a lot of people thinking I'm not a salesperson, so I can't do this. I don't have a large network, and I'm not at my goal body. That's one of the biggest hesitations I get from people. So we'll be going through all of that. So let's just get right into it. So I just want to explain, my name is Kristen Fry, and I am a Beachbody coach, and I founded Team Mission Envision 2 years ago. So I just want to give you a little bit of background, because I know that on social media, everyone is basically showing their highlight reel. And that's one thing you should never do, is don't judge your behind the scenes with someone else's highlight reel. If you're seeing someone post all these pictures and you think, gosh, they never take bad pictures, and they just never post them. So definitely don't compare yourself to people on social media. So a little bit of background about me. I have worked since I was 14. I moved out on my own right after high school. Which basically started my life of living paycheck to paycheck and struggling. In 2006, at the age of 22, I purchased my first home. And it was in this very upscale, up-and-coming neighborhood in Brambleton, which is basically Ashburn, Virginia. And if anyone remembers, in 2006, that was a pretty terrible year to try to buy something. But all the banks were willing to give money. So a 22-year-old that was making 50 grand a year, they said that I could afford it, and I went all in and purchased. And basically from 2006 on, I was in defense mode every month, trying to hang on to that condo that I couldn't afford in the first place, including being saved by the government by a bill that was passed a week before my condo was supposed to go up for auction. So I had already been foreclosed on. I was a week away from it going up to auction, and something got passed through the government that stopped all foreclosures. So That was where I was at. And I, within all of that time, just accumulated, continued rolling debt after debt after debt. 2009, I met my soon-to-be husband in the car business, of course, because I had been in the car business since I was 16. And that's one thing about the car business. And most of the people on this call will know, because once you get in the car business, it's very hard to get out because of the potential income that you can make being in the business. So I met my soon-to-be husband at a Volkswagen dealer. We both worked there. I also worked, that was the first time I had been writing service. So I worked my way up in the car business, and I had been writing service for about 2 years at that point. And one of the other service writers that I worked with was an older writer. He had been doing it for years. And I just remember I would always look at him and just think to myself, God, I hope I will not be here at that age. He was always angry. He was always he was always just pissed off, like didn't want to talk to anyone, looked at people like he hated everyone. I got to know him very well, and we became good friends at work, good coworkers. But you can truly see like how much he had been beaten down throughout the years. And I just always, whenever I would see him, think, there's no way I can stay in this the rest of my life. So at that point, my wheels got to turning as to what can I do that I'm truly passionate about, that I would love to continue coming to work every day. So I, while working in the car business, decided I came up with my own business and my own product. At the time, I was in love with pirates. I had this crazy fetish with pirates, and I'm a huge dog lover. So I developed an all-natural dog treat, and I called the company Pirate Treasures, and I opened that in 2013, and I was very successful at it at the trade shows. So I would go to different festivals, trade shows, things like that. I eventually started selling on Amazon, but really the only people that bought it was friends or family or whatever, because it's very hard in marketing with Amazon if you haven't already been established. So I was successful at the trade shows, but the amount of time I had to put into baking, I did it all from my home. It was not comparable as far as pay, as far as profit. But I still would be doing it to this day, even still working a full-time job, because I loved it. I loved what I was doing, and just hoped that one day it would end up being more profitable. So 2015, I had already been using Beachbody products for about a year and a half. I started with T25 because I saw a high school friend on Facebook posting her progress, and I said, I need to do what you're doing. Tell me everything that you're doing. And then in 2015, I signed up as a coach only to receive a discount. I was drinking Shakeology. I was doing the programs. I said, I've been doing this for a year and a half. I might as well get a discount doing it. So I signed up as a coach, and I made my coach swear to me that I didn't have to post any selfies on Facebook, that I didn't have to do anything. This is purely for a discount because I could get 25% off the products. So I signed up as a coach. Eventually, friends and family started seeing my progress, and they asked me what I was doing, and then I was like, oh, well, I think you can actually purchase it from me. So I'd refer them to a website that I didn't even really half know that I had, and something happened. The magic trigger went off in my head as soon as I got a paycheck. I got an actual paper check mailed to me because I didn't know at the time that you could just set up direct deposit. And I got a paycheck. Someone was actually paying me just in sharing and telling friends and family what I was doing. And I looked at the paycheck. I said, how in the heck is someone paying me that much money just to share what I'm doing and what works for me? And a light bulb went off in my head that if I actually worked this business and I actually spent time devoted to being a coach and to running challenge groups or online boot camps, and I actually put time into it, how much money I could actually make doing it. And I could end up leaving my full-time job and doing that full-time, and thinking how much more I would enjoy it, how much more joy it would bring to me than this car business and this constant hustle that I'm doing for very little reward. So that went off in my head, and I felt so strongly about it and had such a crystal clear vision that I closed my dog treat business, something that I grew from a baby business and that I was very passionate about. I felt so strongly about this coaching business, and I could see my future and smell my future and envision it, that I said, I'm all in. There's no plan B. This is all that I'm going to be doing because I see the potential and I see where I can go with it. So I closed my dog treat business. I also that year had found out that the service advisor that I worked with, the older service advisor, he ended up passing from cancer. And the whole time when I went to his funeral, when I was talking to other coworkers that had gone, I kept thinking, you need to push yourself. You need to push yourself to really achieve these goals that you have and achieve this future that you see in your head. You need to push yourself, because you're not going to go through staying in this business and eventually not having anything to show for it. So that really hit me hard, and I just went all in. Now, fast forward to 2017, last year, I have big goals and plans and deadlines of when I need to do this. So 2017, I ended up getting married to my husband, and we decided right before we got married, I ended up short selling on my condo because we had already purchased a home out in West Virginia, and we just could not hang on to the condo anymore. So we short sailed on it and started Total Money Makeover, which, if you haven't heard of that, it's a book by Dave Ramsey, and you can also get it on Audible. But we're still in the process of doing Total Money Makeover. If you read the book, you understand it's a very long process, but it really helps if you have debt or trying to really get a good piggy bank. So we're in the middle of that. But as of right now, I am still on target to be leaving the car business in July of this year. So with coaching, with this Total Money Makeover, with everything that I have started the wheels turning since 2015, I am looking at retiring myself from the car business in July. So that's a little bit about me, about our team. So our team is Team Mission Envision. The reason when I founded it, the reason why I came up with that name is because I could see my future crystal clear, and I know where I'm going, and I know what's going to happen in my life, and I have deadlines and goals on doing that. And this coaching opportunity is such a gift that I felt I need to pay it forward. More women need to know that they don't have to settle for the 9-to-5 grind, that they don't have to settle for working at a job they can't stand to go to. There is another way. There's another way to be able to make the same income and more. It honestly, as much work as you want to put in, that's as much of a paycheck as you're going to get. And I'll explain all that later in this. But that's why I came up with this name, and I came up with this team. I just wanted a team full of rock stars. I wanted, in joining this team, you're creating lifelong friendships. You're going to be working with other people on this team very often and in several different training groups, team calls. We do weekly team calls and monthly trainings. And honestly, you're going to be travel partners. If you run with this business and you start hitting some good goals, some good ranks, you'll end up winning trips. And above that, Coach Summit, which is our annual basically conference where there's tons of training. Like Coach Summit, your brain will end up feeling like it's going to explode because you're taking in so much knowledge. But you're going to end up being travel partners with these people. So definitely when I'm talking to people about the coaching opportunity, I always try to bring it up to people that could truly benefit from it. But also, I mean, people that are just like me. Like I'm going to be pretty close with you. We're going to be business partners. Like I just want people that are going to see the long term, that are going to see the same vision that I see, and have the same vision in their own lives and be able to take themselves further. So that's basically about our team. We help each other succeed. There's no competing here. There's no hiding like, oh, this is working for me. We share with everyone. And that's kind of how our team is made up of. Now, I want to talk a little bit about what you typically see as far as jobs and the different routes people will go. First, with college. College average tuition is about $35,000. That's for an in-state school. And honestly, there's no guarantee of a job afterwards. There's so many people that dive right into college. And I'm not saying college is a bad thing or people shouldn't go to college. I'm saying it shouldn't be the default way. And anyone on here that's in the car business knows the reason why the car business is so great is that you have such a huge potential for a large income with no degree. But I hate to see someone go 4 years or more to college and spend that much money and put that much of an investment in something and still have no guarantee of a job or income afterwards. The second route, of course, is your hourly employee or your salary employee, someone working a job. So like your typical 9 to 5, or if you're in the car business like us, then you know it can be well more than a 9 to 5. I typically, some weeks I'll work 65 hours, some weeks I work 45. It all just depends on our schedule and the people that are there. But the typical job average salary in the US is about $40,000, and you get a set amount of vacation, sick leave, or if you're in the car business, you don't get sick leave typically, and you have to be there like 20 years in order to get like 2 weeks vacation. But that's the route that most people go, is with just the regular job, 9 to 5. The other route is with a franchise. So a lot of people, especially I've seen nowadays, typically try to get involved with a franchise, and the average startup cost is about $35,000. It really can range anywhere from $10,000 to like over $200,000, just depending on which franchise you're going with. That also does not include your location. So you still have to lease something, the actual building, the brick and mortar. And your average profit annually is about $66,000 in the US. And again, that just depends on what company you go for. I typically, I'm going to show you in the next slides, but a franchise can really relate to the coaching business, and I'm going to show you how that works. So what if you can own a franchise for $40? I'm going to show you, so as far as a franchise, like I said, normally the ranges of the investment, it's about $10,000 to $200,000 plus dollars. Some people mortgage their homes, try to go to large extents to get in on a franchise because it's a lot of money to invest in it. The pro of that is that a franchise, you have skin in the game. You've invested so much that you can't let that go to waste. So you have to see that it succeeds. You treat it like a true, $100,000 investment, and that's the upscale of owning a franchise. As far as coaching, the startup cost to be a coach, if you just go to sign up as a coach and not purchase anything, $39.95, and then there's a $15.95 a month business fee that's basically for your website and everything to stay up and running. If you purchase a challenge pack, of course, then you get that $40 fee, the $40 sign-up fee waived. So that's really all that you have to invest in joining as a coach. Now, the downside that I see in this a lot is that because of the low startup costs, a lot of coaches treat it like a hobby. And if you treat it like a hobby, it's going to pay like a hobby. You honestly, the one thing I always thought about with this is that I would always think of my business as, I always thought long-term in the future. And honestly, in this business, it doesn't even have to be that far in the future, but I treated it like $1 million a year business. You can't treat it like you've invested $40, or if you get a challenge pack, invested the challenge pack. But you can't treat it like that, or else the days that it gets hard or the days that you just don't want to do it, you won't do it because it's like a hobby. But if you treat it like that, you aren't going to make the potential income that you can, or the biggest income that you can. So as far as like the benefits of a franchise, you're buying into something that's already established, something that's successful, an actual brand. So the company takes care of all the marketing, absorbs all the risk, does all the product testing, all of that. Same thing with coaching. You're buying into an established brand. You're buying into Beachbody. They're, with P90X, Insanity, Shakeology, TurboFire. They're already established. They've had tons of infomercials. I know you've heard of P90X and Insanity, even if you haven't heard of Beachbody. So they spend tons of money on their mainstream marketing, their infomercials, their brand recognition, and also developing the programs, the products. Shakeology, it's insane, and you should watch some videos on how they go and get all the ingredients, and how they test all the ingredients to know that they're in their purest form, their most natural form. They go all over the world to find these superfoods, and Beachbody pays for that. So you're buying into this, let's say, franchise, and you get your own little business out of it, but Beachbody is absorbing all of the costs. So it's not like a brick and mortar where you're paying for everything. That was the one thing that I saw. The reason why I closed my dog treat company was because I didn't have to take any of the risk. I didn't have to risk my money in developing these brands, these programs. I didn't have to take any of that risk. All I have to do is share with people what I'm doing, and I don't even have to stock any products. People aren't going to buy it off of me. They're going to buy it through me. So the Beachbody ships everything. They get everyone signed up. You are simply sharing. So that's really what drew me to doing this as a full-time business, is that I didn't have to absorb any of that, like with my dog treats, hours in the kitchen, baking and baking and baking, developing the packaging, the labels, sending my dog treats out to get tested at a lab so I could put everything on the label. It was so time consuming and such a liability for me. So that's really what drew me to it. So as far as like the restrictions that you have, this is one of the bigger differences, is that with a franchise, there's very certain guidelines that you have to follow. But as far as coaching, the best thing about that is that you have your ability to create a personal brand. You can specifically target your niche market however you see fit. Like for me, I target fur mamas, I target wine wine lovers. I target newlyweds. Like, that is just my niche. That's what I know. I target car business. Like, I've been in the car business for 19 years. Of course I'm going to relate to people in the car business. So the thing with coaching is that you can really be a coach and brand however you want. But with a franchise, you really have to stick to their guidelines. And then with a franchise, your success is based off of your own efforts and those that you hire to work for you. As far as coaching, your success is linked not only to your own efforts, but to the success of your team. And your team, they are other franchise owners. So it isn't like they're your employees or they're working for you. You guys are business partners. It's almost like having a sister store. So you guys are working together and you're equals, and you guys are going to towards your same dreams. So what do Beachbody coaches do exactly? It is crazy ridiculous how complicated people try to make this. It is so simple. There's very specific, just daily things that you do. And if you're consistent at them, you're going to be successful. But you have to be consistent, and you have to do them, and you have to do them every single day. So you're working on your own transformation. That's the greatest part. What company is going to pay you to work on yourself, to be a healthier person, to start to work towards your goal weight, towards your goal body, and just share your journey? So you invite your friends, family on this journey with you. Hey guys, I just started this. Come and join me and let's do this together. You're also growing as a person. The biggest thing they instill in you, and especially on this team is very much towards personal development. It's personal development. It's podcasts, audiobooks. It's actual reading if you enjoy reading. You are trying to be the best person possible. You're trying to live the best life possible. And all you're doing in all of this is just sharing it. You're sharing it with everyone. And it gets so infectious. Like people have FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. So they see you doing this. They see you achieving these things. They see how happy you are. And I guarantee you, being a coach, you're going to be, it's crazy how much my life did a complete 360 as far as mentally. Like I was always angry, and now it's like I can't stop loving everything that's going on. Even in the bad times, if something happens, I'm like, well, I can't change that. Where before I would dwell on it and let it eat me alive. And it's just, I owe it all to coaching, and I owe it all to this community. So you're just sharing your story, and others will follow. All right, so how does it work? So you start working on you, obviously doing the things we just talked about, and then you inspire 3 other people to do the same thing, to start working on that, on their journey, and then share that. So when they're sharing their journey, then they inspire a few others. And then those who then inspire a few others, who then inspire a few others, and it continues to go. And that's how you start building a team, a tribe, people on the same mission, on the same journey that you're on. And you're just paying it forward. This opportunity is such a gift that I truly feel it's a gift. It's something I never even knew was possible that you could do, that I have to pay it forward. So it looks like a pyramid scheme, right? That's one of the biggest things and the biggest hesitations that people have. And there's a couple things I want to go over in this. One is that anything, our military, the corporate America, any business or any structure is set up like a pyramid. You have one CEO at the top. You have then maybe a couple managers, and then a little more supervisors, and then lots of employees, right? And the person at the top is at the CEO. they're making more than the managers. The managers making more than the supervisors. Supervisors are making more than the employees. So the employees at the bottom are making the least amount of money or income. So here's where coaching is different, because there's everyone in this pyramid, everyone is a CEO. Everyone is a CEO of their own company or franchise. So the person at the top could make less money than one of the people at the bottom of this pyramid. It all depends on your team. It depends on your efforts. And someone at the very bottom or someone just coming into this business can definitely, if they put in the effort, they can make more money than the person that came in 4 or 5 years ago. Pyramid schemes. Now there are a lot of companies to where their pay plan and everything's set up. They're in, and I think this is what really gets under my skin, is that this is where the pyramid scheme comes from, is their sole purpose is to just recruit as many people as possible. So they go out and just try to get as many people as possible to sign up. And some of those startup costs can be, $200, $300, $400, $500. It's crazy. And then as soon as they sign up, they don't even need to worry about them. So the person that signed them up, they don't even think about them anymore. Like their sole purpose was just to sign them up. So for me, if I was to sign someone up as a coach, I would actually, if I did not give them the tools to succeed and start going with their own business, I would actually lose money. For them to be a coach, I would make less than if they were just to stay a customer of mine, than if they were just to be a challenger, be my boot camp. I'm not going to make more with them being a coach and not doing anything than if I would have just kept them as a customer. So all of my success depends on my coaches. That's why we're a team. That's why we work together, because all of our income is based on helping each other. There isn't I'm just going to sign them up, sign as many people as I can and move on. No, that isn't how this company works. And that's why I was really drawn to it, in that it isn't this pyramid scheme. There's even companies that used to just have people sign up, like go and sell them memberships. But like, what is the membership to? Like, it wasn't even to anything. It's like they would get a percentage or make half of whatever the membership sign up fee was. And then the purpose of that person that signed up for the membership is to go on and sell more memberships. But what are you being a member of? Like, you weren't actually getting anything for it. And that's really what put this whole pyramid scheme into play. But coaching, you are solely reliant on the people that you sign up and on your team, and you guys work together as a family. So what do you get as being a coach? What do you get as being a part of this community? You don't have to know or be an expert at nutrition. Beachbody has tons of people that they employ to specialize in it. They give you Shakeology, and they give you all of the questions on it, the answers on it. They have all the information. You have so many tools in your toolbox for nutrition, and you aren't supposed to know everything, and you aren't supposed to be an expert at nutrition and being a coach. You're supposed to be on your journey. They have all the best trainers. They already have the product. They have so many different programs out now, and they continually come out with at least 2 or 3 programs every year. So you have all of the fitness tools to be able to have your customers and also your coaches get the best results and start hitting their goals. And the biggest thing that most people are missing, like, they can go and buy a meal plan or buy what are those Hello Fresh things or whatever, the Blue Aprons. They can go and buy all of the nutrition. They can go and buy fitness programs. But the thing that they're missing is the peer support. They're missing the community of people that is going to keep them going. They're missing those people that if they don't show up is going to be sending them a message, hey, I haven't seen you. Where are you? How are you doing? Where are you at in your journey? The peer support is the biggest thing in this. And that's the whole reason why they came up with this coaching network, is because when P90X came out, people were on these message boards motivating each other to stay on track. So that's what a Beachbody coach is. You're there to help people not quit, because so many people, and I've done it, you've done it, I'm sure everyone's done it. You start a program and you quit it because if someone's not there to push you, or if it's easy to just not do it because no one knows that you're doing this program, you're going to fall off. So that's the biggest thing with being a coach, is that you're there for the support. And you also get the peer support in coaching from the other coaches. And on this team, we have a separate private group, and we have private trainings that will help you throughout the entire journey. So, do you have to sell stuff? A couple of things. I put a couple of like the top resolutions on here, and I'll just read them just in case it's a little small for you guys to see. These are a couple of top resolutions that people make, especially at like the new year. Get out of debt, help others, learn something new, get organized, enjoy life more, lose weight, more family time, exercise. And that, I mean, just right there, 4 or 5 of them is pretty much covered with the coaching opportunity. But we don't sell stuff. We provide solutions to help others successfully achieve their goals. So it isn't selling stuff. It's stuff that's worked for you, stuff that's worked for hundreds of thousands of people out there, and you're just paying it forward. You're sharing your journey. All right, so let's talk money, right? These are just examples. I took, actually had one of the coaches in my upline give me all of her numbers from when she was at these ranks. So I just randomly took one of the coaches and all of her numbers when she was at all of these different ranks. So when you first start out and you're brand new, you're going to be solely making income off of your retail sales. So the people that you're helping and connect them with a program with Shakeology, that's where most of your money is coming from. If you take a look as a brand new coach, you can see the amount that you're making there. Emerald, which is just the first rank up, which is super easy to get to. You start making a little more with team bonus, which is, like I said, you can't just sign someone up and leave them. Your sole, and you'll see throughout the slides, is that your sole income is going to be on this team bonus. It isn't really, it's going to kind of switch from retail being predominantly your most income to team bonus. Now, all of these are weekly pay. So I don't think I put that on here, but they're all total commission per week. So Emerald coach, so you're making a little bit more as far as your team bonus, and all of that gets really complicated on how you make that. So I'm not going to really get into it on this webinar, but let's just focus on that your income is going to start to come from your team more than selling. So as a diamond coach, which is the next rank up, you're making a little bit more. And again, this can be a lot more or a lot less dependent on how much effort you put in. This was just an example. So you're making a little bit more on that. You're making a lot more on your team bonus. As a star diamond, the next rank up from that, you're making quite a bit more as far as your team bonus and retail. And then let's go into so this for her, a year into it, so that was so she was making almost $1,000 a week, and as you can see, her team bonus jumped up quite a bit. So this is what I was saying. You really have to put effort into your team. Make sure that the people that you're signing up are moving their business forward. About 18 months into it, you see what a jump up just that short amount of time from a year to 18 months goes. So she's making almost $2,000 a week. And again, this is weekly commissions. And then 2 years into the business, look at her team bonus. So you see her retail sales is almost nothing. Her team bonus is where she's making the majority of her income. So again, that is making sure the people you're signing are fully trained and you're putting your effort into them. And then this was her 3 years into the business. And again, this is weekly pay. So she was at about $6,500 a week, which is pretty crazy, but that isn't even like the max that you can go. I'm sure now, because she's 5 years into the business. So, I mean, I could tell you what she's making, but that's not really comparable to where you're at right now. So, yeah, 3 years in, so about $6,500 a week. So let's just say worst case scenario. What if no one wants to join you? So you've invested $40, right? Or that's waived and you've just invested the cost of the challenge pack. Worst case scenario, if like no one wants to join you, if like you really just suck as a coach, which with all of the trainings and everything that we do, I don't see that happening, but just worst case, you end up getting connected with tons of new friends on our team and the entire Beachbody community. You've just gained so many uplifting, empowering people in your life. You focus on yourself. You start getting in shape, because the first thing we do with becoming a coach is that you get yourself involved in a program. We are proof that the product works. So you have to work on yourself. So you get in shape, you start focusing on yourself, you start feeling better about yourself. And then you face your fears. You start growing as a person. Personal development has completely changed my life. And it's definitely, I mean, if Beachbody stopped paying me today to be a coach, I would still do everything that I'm doing right now on a daily basis, just because it's changed my life. All right, so different strokes for different folks. So there's 3 different types of ways you can go with this business, and a little bit in between too. So there's discount coach. It's basically just someone who drinks Shakeology on a regular basis, doesn't sell anything, doesn't care about the commission at all, and still saves about $16 a month on their Shakeology, because you get a discount, obviously a 25% discount on all products, being a coach. Hobby coach. So this is someone that has a full-time job that they love, but loves the products and enjoys sharing them with others, and who doesn't like extra cash, right? So that's a hobby coach. And then a business builder. This is someone that's going all in to make this eventually their full-time job. So like me, I hustle part-time as a coach to ensure that that is going to be my future, while still working a full-time job. And that's what I love, bringing people in that are in the same business, because I can really show you how filling the pockets and doing things, setting exact times and schedules to work this in can be so beneficial for you. So this is just someone that wants more freedom for their family, for themselves, and that's a business builder. So what does this team provide? So like I said, we have weekly team calls where we go over different topics and areas of interest at that time. We have one-on-one trainings, of course. You and your coach, if it's not me that invited you to this call, you and your coach will have one-on-one trainings. We do small group trainings too, people that are at the same rank, at the same levels, shooting for the same goals. And we have social media training. Of course, we talk a lot about that. There's tons of trainings. There's different training libraries, tons of guides. We share everything that works. And just honestly, a place to just dream big and create that freedom for your family and for yourself for the future. So what do you do now? So we are coming to an end. I'm sorry I went a little bit over. So what now? So you're going to message the person who invited you to this call. If it's me, you can email me, or you can private message me, direct message me. And then you're going to let them know which kind of coach that you think you want to be. You want to be a discount coach, hobby coach, business builder. Then let them walk you through the sign-up process. This is the biggest thing. Everyone gets confused and they want to jump in and they want to start right away, which I love, and I can't wait to get started. But you have to do it the right way. That's going to be the most cost-effective for you, and that puts you in the right team. So if you are going to be wanting to sign as a hobby or a business builder, which doesn't matter. I mean, you sign up the same. So if you decide, oh, I just want the discount, and then like next month, like, oh my gosh, I need to be a full-blown business builder coach. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to change anything but your actions and what you're doing on a daily basis. So it isn't that you have to sign up specifically, like if I sign up as a discount, I can never work the business. It doesn't work like that. But if you are planning on being a hobby or a business builder, I would definitely get involved and ask your coach when you sign up what the next new coach training group is. But I have something that's a little bit different that I'm doing, and we're actually taking the next 5 people. I'm closing it on the 28th, but we're looking for 5 people to do an accelerated mentorship program. So this is just going to be specifically for this month, and the people that decide that they want to jump in, decide that this is right for them, we're taking 5 people on an accelerated mentorship program. So someone that's just ready to go with it, we're going to go all in, massive action. Because we have a very big launch event coming up, and we start that May 1st. So May 1st through August 1st, we're doing this very big launch in our team, which at the end we have tons of cool prizes and like a trip, like a oceanfront beach house and stuff. But we go into all that on the team. So definitely the 5 people that end up wanting to take advantage of it before the 28th is the cutoff on it. And we're going to be taking 5 people for that accelerated mentorship. So I'm excited for that because we have never done that before. And then the last step, you want to be an apprentice coach in your coach's next challenge group. So that really gives you a firsthand experience, gets you started on your journey, and also that gives you something to be able to invite your first, friends and family to really jumpstart and get started in your business. You can invite them to your coaches group, and that way you don't have to run your own challenge group or boot camp or anything. You can invite your own people and still make the commission from that. So I hope I've explained everything. If you have any questions, you can definitely comment on this video and I can answer them. I will continue. Like I said, I will leave this up for 24 hours. And remember, if you want to be a part of that accelerated mentorship program, we're taking 5 people. That's all that we're taking. And the cutoff is going to be on the 28th. So thank you for coming, and have a good Sunday evening.